Welcome to episode 1838, 1838, and greetings from Dallas, Texas, or actually I should say Plano, Texas. I am doing a speaking engagement. I just need to jump on stage here in about 15 minutes, but wanted to record a quick intro for you here. And we've got a great show. We've got part two today, with Eric, and we're going to continue that discussion from Monday on interest rates, on the market, on the economy, predictions as to where the market is going. But I got to tell you, a friend of mine sent me a video today. This is a guy on YouTube I keep talking about. I've invited him on the show, want to get him on the show. I'm not going to mention his name right now, but you cannot believe, folks, the amount of clickbait and the number of false comparisons out there when it comes to the economy, the real estate market. There are so many people who are just deceiving and misleading you into believing things that simply aren't true. I wish I had the chart to show you. I'm going to show it to you on a future episode, but I'm just going to tell it to you now. Basically, this person who will remain nameless, a big YouTuber with these great clickbait titles, you know, you got to buy the clicks, you got to get the clicks, right? That's the game. We all understand that, and unfortunately, it becomes misleading at some points. He's talking about the foreclosure moratorium. We all understand what happened with the foreclosure moratoriums, right? And as he's talking about that, he talks about the foreclosures that would have happened had it not been for the moratoriums, right? A valid idea. Conceptually, that's true. And how there would have been so many more properties on the market had the moratorium not occurred. Okay, on its face, that's true. And then he shows these charts about these moratoriums and how the number of foreclosures that didn't happen because of the moratorium, and says, and then shows an inventory chart of the amount of housing inventory and says, hey, the inventory problem, this housing shortage is fake. The inventory problem wouldn't have happened if the foreclosures were allowed to happen. But guess what? The timeline is distorted, because all he does is take and add the number of foreclosures he thinks would have happened that didn't happen, and then says, here's the amount of inventory we needed. But compared to what? That's the question. What he doesn't tell you is this important thing. Huge thing left out of that discussion. What he doesn't tell you is that those foreclosures would have been dripped out over time, over the last 18 months or 2 years. And he makes you think it would have happened all at once. Like there just would have been 700,000 more homes dumped on the market and the inventory problem would have just been solved. Poof, like that. Not true. The foreclosures would have been dripped out onto the market over time, and the purchases absorbing that inventory would have just happened over time. These things happen gradually, right? Over the course of 2 years, if there's 700,000 new homes dumped on the market and 700,000 purchases, that's what would have really happened. But these leaps in logic occur with these people, these doom and gloomers, that are false narratives. I'm not saying there won't be a housing bubble. There is one brewing probably, but we're probably a year or two away from it, if not longer, right? A broken clock is right twice a day. And all of these doom and gloomers, they will say, well, I called the housing crash way before it happened. Sure, if you keep making predictions for 5-10 years, you're going to be right eventually. Yes, there will be an adjustment, no question about that. But the problem is, all of the money that would have been lost as people waited and tried to time the market by thinking there's a crash, no one counts that. They don't count that. They just say, oh my gosh, this guy was right. You know, it's just, folks, look, I know it's a bit of a rant, and I got to jump in. I got to get on stage here where I'll have slides to talk about this. And, you know, probably I'll just share the video from this presentation on a future show. So that's coming up. I just wanted to share that idea with you. Don't be fooled by this clickbait. Don't be fooled by this sensationalism. Go deep on the statistics. Understand that you can't take a snapshot and say it would have solved the housing inventory problem. It's simply not true. Okay, it's simply not true. This stuff happens over the course of time, and the inventory absorption happens over time, as well as the inventory coming onto the market happening over time. So that's the way it really works in real life. It doesn't work like these guys say it does. All right, be sure to join us in Jacksonville. A few more people purchased tickets for this great event we're doing in Jacksonville. Super excited. I want to spend 3 days with you. This is a wholesaling event, so we are going to teach you how to buy wholesale properties. And by the way, I want to tell you in advance, we have a little bit of a hidden agenda here. Well, it's not hidden if I tell you, right? No, it's not. The agenda is this. We are trying to create more inventory for our network. And we want to teach people, we want to teach you to hopefully become one of our partners where you can make, if you can ramp up this business and buy these wholesale properties and sell them through our network. Now, you can sell them however you want, but you could also sell them potentially through our network to our investors. If you'll go out and do the legwork, you could build a great business for yourself, and that's what we want to help you do when we're in Jacksonville. If you don't want to do that, that's fine. Just go get good deals for yourself, good deals to buy and hold or fix and flip, or just wholesale these deals where you literally need to have zero capital, zero, nothing. And you can acquire properties and assign the contracts to people and just flip them and make $5,000, $10,000, $15,000, $20,000, maybe even more on a bigger purchase price deal. So this is going to be a really exciting event. Go to jasonhartman.com/wholesale, jasonhartman.com/wholesale, and join us in Jacksonville for a Friday, Saturday, Sunday mentoring event, small group. This is hands-on. We're going to go out and do this stuff together. jasonhartman.com/wholesale. Do not miss this. It's going to be great. And without further ado, let's get to our guests. Let's get to part 2 with Eric from Monday, just continuing that. And a lot of people really just had wonderful feedback about Eric as a guest. So I'm glad to have him back. And here is part 2 right now.